All right, folks, we've gotten to that point in the NFL season. I'm talking about the point where getting one more week through the season becomes a monumental achievement, becomes an unlikely achievement in this particular case because Seattle Seahawks are traveling to Atlanta to play the Falcons, and most of the experts will tell you it doesn't look good. So every game can be your last, and this week we can honestly say that if the math and the predictions hold true, it will likely be our last. But there's still the opportunity to do something really special. And obviously, we played Atlanta in the playoffs in Russell Wilson's rookie year. They beat us on a last-second field goal. We almost overcame the odds. We overcame a big deficit in that game, and it didn't quite pan out. So heading back in there with the opportunity to get some payback in a playoff game, not a regular season game, like we've beaten them a few times in the regular season, sign me up. At the end of the day, you have to beat good teams in the playoffs in order to advance, so bring on this particular good team. If it's not them, it's going to be somebody else who's good. How do I feel about this game, though? Just looking at it, I'll tell you what, right now, I don't feel too great because obviously this Atlanta offense, one of the best in football, maybe the best. They've got a quarterback who will probably win MVP, or I think he should. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is probably the best quarterback in football the way he's playing right now, and if Ryan were to flame out in the playoffs and Rodgers wins the Super Bowl, it's going to look like Rodgers should be MVP, but in terms of the regular season performance everybody had, I think that he should be MVP. Julio Jones, one of the best receivers. They can run the ball with two different guys. They got a lot of things to be excited about on that Atlanta offense. And look, this Seahawks defense is great. The Seahawks defense is so much better than almost every defense that the Falcons played this season. It's a top five defense. Obviously, the Falcons have struggled against the above average defenses when compared to their normal output. So there is the opportunity for us to hold Atlanta to like 21 points, but at the same time, no Earl Thomas. That seems like that's going to be a big fucking deal this week. Yeah. Last week, I was worried about not having Earl out there, and, not having Earl did hurt the team a little bit, but we didn't feel it. We held the Lions to 6 points. They weren't able to build any long touchdown drives. It was great. Steven Terrell was good enough. It's not going to be that way this week. There are going to be plays in this game where we go, I wish Earl was out there. Earl would have prevented that. Earl would have been the last line of defense on that deep ball. Earl would have, made that tackle. And as we're watching the game on Sunday, it's going to hurt because it's going to come up, and there's nothing you can do about it. If we're lucky, he'll be back for the start of the regular season next year. So it is what it is. So I know this defense is still very good. I know this defense, despite how they played in the last 2 weeks of the regular season, can do work, but it's just not the same, and the communication issues are clearly still there. I know the coaching staff is saying, we've really worked on these communication issues since our Week 6 game against Atlanta, because that was a game where in the third quarter we completely forgot how to, we completely forgot about assignments and scheme on defense in the third quarter in that game, and we gave up 3 touchdowns. But you still see it. It's still not where it needs to be, and I just see Atlanta putting up at least 24 points in this game. I don't see us, turning into the brick wall and just completely dominating the game. It's not in the cards. I have questions about our pass rush against a really good Atlanta Falcons offensive line, one of the best, probably top 3 along with Dallas and Oakland. our pass rush struggles in some games against bad offensive lines. I don't know if Bennett and Averill get held every play. Honestly, I don't care. I don't see other teams having these problems, and if we cannot get after the passer in this game, you can cancel it. And the last few games make me wonder if that's going to be something that we can even do. So that's our defense. We'll give up 24, I think, but if it gets more than 30, then we're going to have a real problem. That's where the game gets out of hand. Offensively, I've said this a few times this year. You got to pick it up. Has to. Because like I just said, the defense, not going to win the game this time. The defense can play well. The defense might get turnovers. The defense can make some good plays, but they're not going to win this game. It's just not going to happen. If we can hold Atlanta to 20 points, that would be a phenomenal showing. In Atlanta, by the way, in the Dome, where they can turn games into a track race, a track meet, basically. So, offense, Atlanta defense, they got some good players. They got their Vic Beasley. They got Trufant. What is it? Desmond Trufant? I lost track of all the Trufonts. I think it's Desmond Trufant. They got some good stuff going on down there, but it is a defense that has given up a lot of points this year, 27th in the league. A lot of that is because their offense scores so much, but still not a great defense at all. And looking at this one, I have to say we need it. I've been disappointed by this offense several times this season. Arizona, St. Louis, almost Miami, New Orleans. It's been a real struggle, and now it's do or die. Now, if the offense does not really show up this week, there's no way. So we need to find a way to block Vic Beasley coming around the edge, because he is, I think, pretty clearly their best pass rusher, and containing him at least a little bit it should be the focus of the game plan. There should not be a situation where George Fant is trying to block Vic Beasley one-on-one the whole game and getting beat for 8 sacks in the first half because, well, he's George Fant and he's Vic Beasley. That cannot happen. I'm going to lose my mind on Saturday if I see George Fant trying and failing to block Vic Beasley one-on-one. I need Jimmy Graham to be involved heavily in this game. I think that might be something that you can exploit on this Atlanta defense. Those mismatches. And maybe we can run the ball. Atlanta's run defense, it's been pretty good, though, mostly because I think they've been playing from ahead in a lot of these games. It's a pretty decent, but maybe we can run against them. We didn't really run against them in Week 6, but hopefully we're better now than we were then. Hopefully having Thomas Rawls in the lineup will change things. Hopefully we learned something from the Detroit game last week, because I want to see some balance on offense, but at the same time, we don't have time for the running game to dig itself out of the dirt if it's not going. If the running game is not working, you need to chuck it in the trash, and I hate to say that, but we need points. We need to move the ball and score, and I don't have the time to give the ball to Thomas Rawls for 2 yards a carry and then punt it. It's not going to do it. Not this week. Other than that, you just know this game is going to come down to special teams, don't you? It just feels like special teams is going to decide this freaking game, and it's going to be terrible. It's going to feel horrible. There's nothing on this special teams unit that... okay, I'm going into doomsday mode here, but... And just when I was seeing a spark of hope possibly coming off the bench this week, they're saying CJ Prosise is probably not going to play, which sucks. I mean, losing Tyler Lockett really blew, but CJ Prosise had some of that same big playability that could have at least mitigated that. Now we don't have that. So that sucks. So, yeah, it's going to be very tough. I'm putting a lot of this on Russell Wilson. We're missing some pieces that could make all the difference in this game. Missing a Tyler Lockett and missing a CJ Procise, possibly missing a Tony McDaniel. We'll see what's up with him. I'm putting a lot of it on the quarterback, and when you're getting paid what he gets paid, he's got to deliver. So I'm going to hold his feet to the fire if he doesn't deliver because, you're playing in a dome, you're playing on turf. They're going to score, and I know it's on the road, but it's a environment where you should be able to score as well. So what we saw last week, let's just try to get it done. I don't really expect to win this one. This one, it's not a matchup that I'm really looking forward to with the way our team is laid out right now. But we're here, and I know we can win games like this. I've seen it before, so I'll see you guys after the game on Saturday. Season could be over by then, but there is always the tantalizing possibility of looking at 2 more games until being world champions yet again, and you don't pass up opportunities to really get invested when those times come by. All right, see you later.